Negotiation, I mean, we use it every day. We use those skills every day in everything we do. How can it be applied in personal relationships, such as with family and friends?
Yeah, well, if you define it the way I do, which
Yeah.
is a collaborative relationship for the long term, what that does is it changes where you're coming from,
Yes.
which means that you're trying to be family and friends. You should be collaborative for the long term. You should want them to do well.
Definitely.
And then it becomes acceptable. Now, if negotiation is a tool to exploit other people, then it's not acceptable with family and friends because you're going to pay the price. It's a bad idea to
Mm,
exploit your family and your friends. So it's really where you're coming from. Then also, if your best interest, their best interests are in your heart also, as they should be with
yes.
everybody, as family and friends, they're going to feel that. They're going to want to be understood. They're going to want to share with you. Sometimes, if this is a new approach for you, it's going to take them a while to get used to it. And for most people, it is a little bit of a new approach. Or, with family, especially with family, I mean, both of you have wounds that the
Yeah.
other side doesn't even know.
True.
Like, I several years ago, I'm always learning wherever I can. I go to the Landmark Forum in LA, which is about being a better person
Yes.
and
Yeah.
forgiving people in
Yeah.
many cases. And going back to the promises you originally made and renewing those promises. So anyway, there's a young lady in there that's been carrying a wound inside of her since she was 12 years old.
Mm.
And when she was 12, a number of the girls in her group got together, and let's say her name was Susie, and they all said, "We just formed the I Hate Susie Club."
Oh,
Now, this girl is in her 30s, and she's still carrying the pain of that moment. And as it turns out, one of the people in that group was a family member, not a sibling, but a family member of her extended family. And she finally let it go after 20 some years. She'd been carrying this wound. And in
wow.
order to let it go, they encouraged everyone to go back and talk to the person, if possible, and say, "Look, I'm letting this go." So she goes to the family member, and her family member genuinely has no memory of it. Like, it was such
Mm.
a silly thing for a preteen girl to have done at the time. She gave it no thought at the moment, and so she got a cousin carrying a wound on an instant she didn't even remember,
Wow.
which
Powerful.
is kind of what the family's going through. I mean,
Yes.
you got a wound inside you from a sibling or a cousin, and they genuinely don't even remember it happening.
Mm.
That's what family's struggling with. The other side is mystified that you're angry because they don't remember it happened.
Yes. And especially when it comes to boundaries, like I think even like, I call it like soft negotiation, but I think it's so true what you said. People have to become comfortable with your boundaries, and it does base back to that. So thank you so much for that.